Sean Brady wants Ian Garry next after outworking Gilbert Burns to win UFC Vegas 97 main event. Gilbert's a tough dude, but I knew that coming into this. Brady said after the win, "I just stayed mentally and physically focused. I'm living my dreams. This is amazing. Gilbert, he's tough as nails. I thought I did better work on the feet than on the ground. I stuck to the game plan." Brady had to use all his fighting skills in the match because Burns didn't let him easily take him down. Even when Brady managed a takedown, Burns, who's a great grappler, quickly switched things up. Still, Brady kept pushing, staying close to Burns and trying to tire him out with an intense pace. When they were standing and trading punches, Burns still showed strong power with his hardest hits. But Brady also looked good when striking against Burns, who used to compete for the welterweight title. Even though Brady did well in the striking exchanges, he eventually returned to his grappling, moving forward, pressing Burns against the cage and trying for takedowns again. When Burns finally found some space, he hit Brady with a few strong punches and followed up with knees aimed at the middle, which clearly made Brady take notice. After taking those tough hits, Brady quickly went back to his grappling, securing a takedown and slamming Burns to the ground right before the third round ended. "I should be ranked way ahead of Ian Machado Garry," Brady said. "I want someone in the top 5, but if not me and Ian got the same manager, Lloyd Pearson, run that." Brady has now picked up back-to-back wins over Burns and Kelvin Gastelum since suffering his only career loss to current welterweight champion Belal Muhammad back in 2022. He takes a big step forward in the division after beating an established contender like Burns, and now Brady is hoping he'll be facing one of the division's young guns next. UFC analyst Din Thomas predicts Sean O'Malley versus Merab Dvalishvili to be one-sided. Paul Felder and Thomas previewed UFC 306 on ESPN. Felder was excited about the main event due to the rich history between Suga and The Machine. Their rivalry has featured memorable moments, from Dvalishvili snatching O'Malley's jacket in the octagon to O'Malley inadvertently capturing Merab training in the rain. Felder highlighted the challenge of Dvalishvili's relentless pressure against the champ's precise counter-striking, which makes the fight highly unpredictable. According to Din Thomas, the fighter who establishes dominance early will likely secure the victory. Din stated that the early rounds will set the tone for the UFC 306 main event. If Merab can dominate O'Malley from the start, he'll likely maintain control for all 5 rounds. On the other hand, if O'Malley, the champ, finds his rhythm early, he'll be picking apart The Machine from a distance throughout the fight. I think we're going to know right away. I think if Merab is able to get his hands on Sean early, then I think that's going to tell the entire story of the fight. And if he can't, I think that's going to tell I can't see a back and forth fight here because their styles are so different and they're so strong at their offenses that I just can't imagine it going back and forth. The analyst also noted that Dvalishvili is shorter than former champ Aljamain Sterling and tends to get hit more frequently. Thomas concluded that for the challenger to win, he must avoid being overwhelmed by O'Malley's precise striking from a distance. As sharp as Sean O'Malley is, like that shot that he hit Aljo with, that right hand, just eagle-eyed him, just bang. Merab is more susceptible to getting hit than Aljamain, and he's shorter, and he's going to have a harder time getting in. So, Merab, to me, this comes down to what is Merab doing in training to be able to deal with that length? In a recent appearance on Joe Rogan podcast, Belal Muhammad told a horrifying story about Khabib Nurmagomedov and his former MMA manager Ali Abdelaziz. Belal and Khabib were teammates at AKA. Belal revealed that there was a moment at the gym when Khabib aggressively took Abdelaziz down and almost broke his arm. The conversation started with Joe explaining how important it is to let go of a submission as soon as the opponent taps to prevent injury, referencing to Islam Makhachev's Kimura submission win over Dan Hooker. After this, Belal brought up a moment when Khabib did the complete opposite, and not in a professional setting, but at the gym against his manager. Quote, Khabib once took Ali down and got him in a Kimura submission. Ali was desperately tapping, but Khabib wasn't letting him go. He was mocking him and making fun of him as Ali was tapping to Kimura. Arman Tsarukyan discusses potential interim title fight against Charles Oliveira. Arman rejects the official decision in their first fight, insisting he defeated Charles by unanimous decision. In an interview with Red Corner MMA, Arman shared that he's back in training and talked about his plans while Makhachev recovers from injury. Tsarukyan made it clear that his main goal is to win the UFC title, no matter who stands across from him. With the lightweight champion sidelined, he's eager to face any top 5 contender for the interim belt. Addressing critics of his recent win, Arman confidently stated that he dominated Oliveira in the second and third rounds. He acknowledged the first round was close, but remains convinced that he deserved a unanimous decision victory. "I beat him via unanimous decision in my opinion. I did put a dot on it already in all of the rounds. Yes, the first round was 50-50, but the second and third were one-sided. I was taking him down, beating him up in the stand-up, so if it's a rematch in the interim title fight, then I wouldn't care. I'd fight anyone for the title." The stats back up Tsarukyan's claim. He landed more than twice the significant strikes as Charles and controlled the fight for 8 minutes and 40 seconds, compared to Oliveira's 2 minutes and 32 seconds. However, Oliveira's submission attempts kept the fight closer than the numbers suggest. Despite this, Arman believes he has nothing left to prove against Oliveira. He's only interested in a rematch if a win secures him the interim title. Jorge Masvidal revealed the UFC's response after he requested a fight against Leon Edwards for his return. After his defeat to Gilbert Burns at UFC 287 last year, Masvidal seemed ready to ride off into the sunset, retiring from a storied career that saw him burst into superstardom in 2019. But it looks like Masvidal isn't quite finished with the UFC after all. In a recent chat with ESPN's Brett Okamoto, Masvidal hinted at a comeback to the UFC, reaffirming the plans he discussed around his boxing match with Nate Diaz a few months ago. Fans might just see game bred back in the octagon sooner than expected. "I definitely did retire from sports and all martial arts," Masvidal said. "I retired for about 45 to 60 days, and then it just hit me. I was like, I'm not retired. I can't. I started training, I started doing something, and this boxing opportunity fell in my lap. Great opportunity, I couldn't pass it up. But even when I was doing boxing, even though I loved it, it just doesn't compare to MMA. I just couldn't picture myself getting ready for more fights and not being in MMA. Give me Leon Edwards, bro," Masvidal said. "Is he an up-and-coming guy? What would you call him? A veteran? Ex-champion? Whatever you call that duder, give me that. Let's go. We've got a built-in history. The UFC has got the whole promo. He's 0-1 against me. Let's go. Let's do the fight at the end of the year next year. That's it. Let's get it done. And then, after I knock his ass out, guess what? They've got to give me the title shot. I asked to fight Edwards in my return. Man, the first thing I told Hunter Campbell. They shut it down." Masvidal said they won't do that. "Okay, we'll see who's next. I heard he doesn't want to fight." Masvidal continued. "Who knows why? Maybe because I beat the hell out of that guy. Almost knocked him out." Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for daily MMA news.